Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Quadov, GMS Gulf Coast. And I'd like to start by giving infinite honor, praise, and glory to the Most High and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekak Wadash. Double honors are given up to the elder apostles, as well as the elder bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Also, I'd like to send a shalom to the sincere Akim that go out and push this word with all true faith and sincerity, preaching and teaching 100% truth, as well as calling on the names Yahweh Yahushua. And last but not least, to the men, women, and children who make up the bulk of the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, granted salvation in these final days, who are Israelites, and who also has come back to the obedience of the scriptures and are calling on the names Yahweh Yahushua. To you all, shalom. And as always, if it be the Heavenly Father's will, Abba Ratazah, be edified. And we just jump right into it. I have a plethora of different videos. I haven't decided on whether I would move beyond this one because it itself is 17 minutes long. And there's a lot of meat that you can get off the bones as far as concerning the inconsistency, or rather the consistencies of how the white man moves. When he lies, he tells the truth. You just got to know what context to put it in, you know what I'm saying? And as we've entered World War III, or that Second World War, or that Third World War. Let me grab that real quick. This is Revelations, Salakia. Let me get it here. This is Revelations 11 and 14, and it reads, it says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly. So we're in that third woe, man, that third war. We have entered into that. And Donald Trump and his regime, following the leadership of the small hats, they continue down this road of campaigning that this war would only take a few weeks, 5-6 weeks, so forth and so on. Now they're complaining about that. Now they're complaining about their allies not giving them the proper help, not sending the proper, support, and that's also in the scriptures as well, that these other nations would hate her ass. This is Revelation 17, and let me see. This is Revelation 17 and 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast in America is that beast. These shall hate the whore. Well, the beast is the system, They shall hate the whore, which the whore represent America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So a lot of that stuff that's going on there in the Strait of Hormuz, you hear these other world leaders, look, man, we ain't had nothing to do with that. And, everyone is being affected by that, the oil prices, the food, everything is all connected. When you look at the world, that's why they're pushing for a new world order, this new world order, because everything now, they have the infrastructure to connect everything. And if one thing is affected, it affects the whole chain of things. And when it affects the whole chain of things, it affects the world collectively by and large. So, these other nations looking at it like, look, man, we ain't, we wasn't going for that lie that them small hats was proposing to Trump, where Trump really didn't have any other choice in the matter. Let's see, because that was prophecy as well. This is Jeremiah, real quick. It's Jeremiah chapter 50 and 45, and it reads, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he had taken against Babylon, which this is Babylon the Great, this is speaking of now, and his purpose, that he had purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And the least of the flock is going into those Amalekites, man. You know what I'm saying? The grandson of Esau, which if you go in the carnal sense, that's if they're not the youngest nation, they are they're next to the youngest nation that has been granted statehoods via the United Nations. You know what I'm talking about? So it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So, yeah, Donald Trump was, he didn't have a choice in the matter because it was prophecy that these United States of America, Babylon the Great, would be drawn in by the small hats. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the way it plays out here in the carnal sense, yeah, maybe he was coerced or blackmailed or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it was prophesied. That's the point. Prophecy said that it was going to happen. So, you know, whether you want to say he was, you know, these other nations want to say that he was, blackmailed, whatever the case may be. It's happening. And they don't want to worsen the situation no worse than what it is, but that's neither here nor there because the plagues have been sent upon the earth, as it says in Second Ezra. Let me get it real quick. Let me see. Dang, I just had it. Damn. Okay, that's not it. Let's see. Okay, Second Ezra's search lab. Let's see. Well, let me get it real quick. I don't know how to work these phones. Okay, Second Ezra 60. I don't know how to work this technology. I'm not all that proficient with that. So, you know. Let's see. I had it too. Okay, this is right here. The Second Ezra 16 and verse 5, and it reads, plagues are sent unto you. No, let me start at let me start up top. This is Second Ezra 16 and 1. Woe be unto you, Babylon and Assyria, and Asia. Woe be unto you, Egypt and Assyria. And those nations are caught up right now, as we speak. You know what I'm talking about? You know, in this third world's war. It says, gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair, bewail your children, because they're going into this third world's war. There's a caption that I had where it says they considering drafting women. You know, you women over here in the Western world, aka America. You know what I'm talking about? You might well get ready. This is the judgment of the Lord, and if you have not repent and made a sincere effort to repent and to sincerely seek the Lord, your judgment comes, man. You know, Romans, what that is, 6 and 21, 23. For the wages of sins is death. And it don't matter whether you believe that to be the case. It doesn't. That has no bearing, neither here nor there. The Lord's will is going to be done. So now, the United States is talking about. Damn, I got rid of that caption about enlisting women. Drafting women. So let's keep going. It says, "Bewail your children." Back in Second Ezra 16 and 2. Bewail your children and be sorry. Be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? See, there's no, Hasek and Trump. They can say what they want to say. This ends when the Lord sends His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, back, and end it all. When they've been all gathered in that valley of Jehoshaphat, where they close to right now, and they be all gathered together in one spot, and they gonna take care of their ass. It reads, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? So, a fire is sent among you, and who shall quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May a man drive away a hungry lion in the woods? You ask yourself that. Or may any one quench a fire in stubble, the fire in stubble, when it had begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer The mighty Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua sent the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? So, all this, so they're giving you these different dates and whatnot, time frames, and this is not in their hands. This, the fate of the world does not lie in their hands. It's in the Lord's hand. They're not running nothing. They're doing the will of the Lord. They're just ignorant of that. That's all it is. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart, which is his mind, is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whitherso he will. So the Lord controls all of this, man. You understand? The Lord controls all of this. Now, Trump, he's been on different platforms and throughout this campaign of him rushing different world leaders and pulling coups and, so forth and so on. He's been contradicting himself the whole way. He'll say one thing one day, how tough he is and how he don't need this and need that. And then in that same sense, he'll try to shame these other nations for not putting up no help. If you don't need my help, then why are you talking shit to me? Again, the United States is being affected more or less, along with the rest of these nations. It's just not the United States are being affected with this the Strait of Hormuz, where that oil, the natural resources can't go freely without being attacked. The United States had called Iran to the table twice about negotiations, but then when they did so, the United States attacked them nevertheless. So it's what's that? Isaiah 30, wait a minute, see Isaiah real quick. Isaiah 33:1, and it reads, because see, they've spoiled their neighbors, and now the time is for them to be spoiled. Now, they're reaping the repercussions of their actions. The United States instead of Israel, they're reaping that, and these other nations are hoping that this shit could be resolved simply, quickly, without their intervention and further stagnate what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? But again, United States, Iran was summoned twice about negotiations, and the United States faltered on them both by having them sit at the table, and while they sitting at the table, they're being attacked. You know what I'm saying? They're being attacked. This is Isaiah 33:1, the judgment of the Lord Yahweh. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So, that's the case. So there is no negotiation. This is, Babylon has went over there and bombed schools, target civilians. You know what I'm talking about? And we know that's the case. The United States, Babylon the Great, has been lying about its involvement in all these world skirmishes for over 2 centuries, man. And if you let them tell it, their side of the story is squeaky clean. You follow what I'm saying? Nobody's buying it anymore, man. So it's these other nations have had their fill, according to the Lord. Revelation 17:17, they've had their fill. They've all turned on the United States for the most part, and it's only gonna get worse before it gets worse. So let's let this play, shall we? Dang. Okay. Yeah.
Donald Trump is cracking under the pressure of his disastrous war in Iran as things escalate. Donald Trump has blinked yet again. He's saying he is now going to remove sanctions from Iranian oil right now, as the price per barrel of oil now is hitting $120 per barrel. So now Iran is having sanctions removed from their oil. So Iran is getting rewarded, and Donald Trump is cracking in so many other ways this morning as well. The Pentagon is asking for more than $200 billion in a defense supplemental right now, because we're running out of munitions and weapons. Pete Hegseth held a press conference this morning where he says, we need more money to kill the bad guys. Please give us more money. $200 billion. Do you all remember, as Alex Jaquez explains, that 20 million people saw their healthcare premiums double because 30 billion.
So this is the ripple effect, man. You know, that money gonna have to come somewhere, and they just went up another $1 trillion in the national debt. So this ain't gonna end like they're telling you it's going to end. You know, in a few weeks, this and that. They don't know. They don't know. That's the truth of the matter. These world leaders, leading with the leaders here in the West, they don't know. You know, they're following the lead of those small hats, and they stepped in the ant bed, man. And it's one thing about an ant bed. It's hundreds of thousands of them in that damn ant bed. And it don't matter how big you is. You can be an elephant and step in that damn ant bed and they come out there on your ass. It don't matter that you weigh 3 tons and they just weigh a fraction of any weight. There's so many of them, they're going to swarm your ass, you know what I'm talking about? And that's what about to happen in America, man. Because all her allies, all her so-called friends, everyone is turning on her, you know what I'm talking about? And you're following the lead of those small hats. This is just the will of the Lord coming, you know, being fulfilled, man. How has the hammer of the whole earth broken asunder? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what we're witnessing. Again, healthcare, food prices. You know, these truckers were talking about, you know, trucking stuff, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, the price of diesel goes up. That's going to be a ripple effect on these big box stores and whatnot. Prices, the stuff in these big box stores, is going to go up because these people are they're in business to make money, not to lose money. So they're going to shift all of that to the consumer. So you can see, you know, and mind you, a lot of you, if not collectively, the majority, your wages are not going to go up, but everything else is going to go up around you. The price of a bottle of water gonna go up. The price of a bottle, the mold of plastic for that bottle is gonna go up. The very smallest intricate thing that the United States deals with in commerce is gonna go up, man. You know what I'm saying? Salt and pepper gonna go up. A pack of socks gonna go up. Toothpaste gonna go up. Your healthcare gonna go up. Why? Because they're gonna take more of that, if not altogether get rid of it. So you can see, you know, somebody. That's why the other nations like, look, man, we don't want nothing to do with that for the most part. But they ain't got no say in it as well, you know, because the Lord is gonna string them all to the valley of Jehoshaphat, you know, his valley where He's gonna judge their ass. You know what I'm talking about? But let's let it play.
Dollars to be invested in healthcare was too much. Now they're doing $200 billion in a defense authorization supplemental. It's what they want the taxpayers to pay. And now we're learning also about the damage that was caused by those Iranian retaliatory strikes on the Ras Laffan industrial city facility in northern Qatar. Remember when the U.S. and Israel launched those strikes yesterday on the South Pars facility in Iran, and Iran said, okay, well, we're going to take out the liquefied natural gas, the LNG facilities in Qatar. And then Donald Trump's like, oh, don't do that. We had nothing to do with the strike in the South Par Iranian facility. That was all Netanyahu. We didn't know about it when obviously Donald Trump authorized it with Netanyahu. Well, now, according to the Qatar Energy CEO, Saeed Al-Kalbi, Iran's attack on the Ras Laffan industrial city damaged facilities that produce 17% of Qatar's LNG export capacity. Now it's going to take 2 to 3 years to fully repair 3 to 5% of the global liquefied natural.
Hey, this is the beginning of the end. 2 to 3 years of repair. Do you people really believe that all is going to go back to how it was? No. No, it's not. Like we read in 2 Kings 16th chapter, plagues have been sent among you. And who is he to send them back? You ain't nobody. And it's a false hope to believe that America and its allies, the little few that they have, is going to be able to turn this around, man. If you truly believe that, you hopeless. You know what I'm talking about? You're hopeless. you believe in a better America as far as you're going to further your education and you're going to get a better. Man, it's over with for this place, man. The monetary system is finna crash. They're going to have to do something with it because America no longer leads the world in GDP. I think they're like, what, third or fourth, something like that, you know? They've lost the handle, you know what I'm saying? That's why these wars are cranking up, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't hold nobody's feet to the fire through those sanctions. That shit over. They done found ways around that. They ain't got, so the United States, Babylon the Great, ain't got no other choice but to fight, man. And again, that's the will of the Lord, man. Revelation 17:17. Matter of fact, let me get that. Where he said he had them to give their kingdom. Let me see. Let me read it real quick. And they fed up, man. Lord, I'm putting their spirit. Okay, it's good. This is Revelation 17:17 for Yahweh had put in their hearts to fulfill his will. See, this is the will of the Heavenly Father. And to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So they ain't gonna be this not gonna turn it's not gonna be like it was. It's not gonna go back to how it was. Since that CVX on 19, has Walmart been back open 24 hours? No. Cause they just let you they love you to sleep, man. They love, you know how you do a child, you love them to sleep, you know what I'm talking about, that lullaby. They lob you to sleep. Ain't nothing been the same since they've been doing these pandemics. All, you know, things have been decreasing. Your rights are being lessened. You know what I'm talking about, via that patriot. You know what I'm talking about. Everyday average citizens are being targeted as domestic terrorists. All kind of shit, man. So if you believe that things will return to the same or somehow get better, you are part of the congregation of the dead. And you know, and I as a man can tell you that your life is going to end when the Lord comes back. You know what I'm talking about? If you truly believe that America is going to get its foothold back and everything going to be, they're going to create a better day tomorrow. Okay, you done. You done.
Gas capacity has now been wiped out in the past 24 hours in these retaliatory strikes. Let me give you just these data points right here. Data point number one, Pete Hegseth press conference this morning saying, yes, $200 billion, give or take a few. That's what it costs to kill the bad guys. I don't know, Pete. How about to keep Americans alive? How about we take care of Americans who are struggling to live right now? What the hell is this Trump regime doing? Watch what Hegseth says. Play this clip.
Both what happened with Midnight Hammer and what happened with that as well. As far as $200 billion, I think that number could move, obviously. It takes money to kill bad guys. So we're going back to Congress and our folks there to ensure that we're properly funded for what's been done, for what we may have to do in the future, ensure that our ammunition everything's refilled, and not just refilled, but above and beyond. I mean, President Trump, as he said, rebuilt the military in his first term, didn't think he'd use it as dynamically in his second, but he had. So thank goodness he did that.
And now if you're like, wait a minute.
Man, that's rough. Let's get this real quick. This is, let me see. Let me get out of this right here. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Let me see. Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter. Okay. So let's grab this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon. Because see, America, when all that's failed, you heard something about the hammer, right? You know what I'm saying? When all that's failed, that's what he's going to do, man. He's going to bring down the hammer. Revelations 12:12, man. You know he got a short time, so he's just bringing it down, man. It's whatever. Shit, we got this big hammer, the big sword. We finna go to work. All negotiations have failed. We done fucked folks over for the longest. Now they trying to fuck us over. They getting over. So, you know, it's a Hail Mary. I mean, this is but Wisdom of Solomon 2. It says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our lives are short and tenuous, and in death of a man there is no remedy, neither was there any man known to return from the grave. That's obviously not true, because I know that our Lord and Savior Yahushua did so. So that's the mindset, you know what I'm saying? One life to live, goddamn, we're going to go out. This is let me see, verse 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man, let us not spare the widow, nor revere the ancient gray hairs of the age. This is the point, verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice. Let our strength be the law of justice. Hey, you heard him? Said we're gonna get some more money. He had already taken care of when his first term, he rebuilt the hammer, and he using it this term. We're gonna go get some more money. We don't care nothing about that poor folks. Your health care, your Tanner, your SNAP, they already getting a partial shutdown right now. Motherfuckers ain't gonna be able to fly and go. All of that is happening as we speak, but they're not focusing on that right now. You follow what I'm saying? Because they want patriotism. Because they're finna have to ask your sons and daughters, or rather, command your sons and daughters to come stand on this front line. So they're not telling you about all the other things that are happening, as simultaneously as this war is going on. It says, verse 11, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. You ain't shit. You ain't worth shit. This is, and there's another scripture where it says that it's in Proverbs. Let me see if I can find it real quick. These folks showing their true color, man. They don't give a damn. And this is the reward for you believing in this shit, man. This is your reward, man. Let me see. Let's see if this is it. This is stricken. They shall not. That was not. Yeah, Mr. Damn, I can't think of that. How you say it. And thou stricken me shall thou. I was not sick. They have not beaten me. Awaken, I will seek it again. No, that's not it. Yeah, but they showing you, man, they don't give a damn, They don't give a damn. He said that they're going to go to Congress and, and get $200 billion, give or take. He just laying it out there open, what they call that when you get a blank check. But Bush did the same thing, man. And if, allegedly now, President Bush and Dick Cheney, he in the spirit realm. But he'll be back. Don't worry about it. He'll be back serve out this punishment. He ain't got away with nothing. They were war criminals, allegedly now. They was war criminals. By the world court, they was just like the prime minister of the land of Israel over there. War criminals. You think that Mr. J. Trump over here, you think he ain't gonna be labeled as a war criminal? So listen, they have a big gun. Like you said in there, let our strength be our justice. You follow what I'm saying? You ain't taking me down. It also says that in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, where the Lord said he gonna take them down. They got sovereignty from the Most High, roughly paraphrased. So the Lord is setting them up to take them down, building them up so he can take them down. So his name will be exalted. You know what I'm talking about? Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua. Heavenly Father's name gonna be exalted on the planet, man. That's what we're witnessing. We're watching it build up to the end of this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But you see how they playing it. Let me get that one more time. Let me get it one more time. Let's see. That's it. Back in second Ezra, not second Ezra, but Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man, and let us not spare the widow, nor reveal the ancient gray hairs of the age. And you get into the book of Deuteronomy, it says that's the characteristics of your oppressor. He said he would not, when you get into the Deuteronomy 28 chapter, that's part of the curses. He will not care nothing about the old or the young. This is that. Now he's acting that all out now because his diplomacy, his thievery through writing legislation and treaties, everybody's done playing with him because he's not a man. He don't keep his word. So now I got this damn sword. I'm finna start swinging this motherfucker. Verse 10, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. See that? Now we're gonna take from all these programs. We don't care about your babies. We don't care about your starving. We don't care about your rent. We don't care about your mortgage. By the way, these billionaires have bought up all the toxic housing, land, and everything. You know, they know you're trying to move into the sheds and make sheds into the houses now because the housing market is all jacked up, man. Rent, excuse me, Slocky. All this shit is jacked up, man. And guess what? Those snakes have slivered themselves and flooded and bought that market out. So there's no escape, man. You hoping and wishing on a prayer that this place, God bless America. You know what I'm talking about? You was a damn fool, man. And you've been a damn fool for a long time. You ain't woke up yet. Yeah, well, you know what your ladder ain't gonna be. It says, let our strength, back in Wisdom of Solomon 2:11, let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. See that? Let's see. About education. Yeah. So, that's where they at with. Let's let the portion play again.
That's what it costs to kill the bad guys. I don't know, Pete. How about to keep Americans alive? How about we take care of Americans who are struggling to live right now? What the hell is this Trump regime doing? Watch what Hegseth says. Play this clip.
Both what happened with Midnight Hammer and what happened with that as well. As far as $200 billion, I think that number could move, obviously. It takes money to kill bad guys. So we're going back to Congress and our folks there to ensure that we're properly funded for what's been done, for what we may have to do in the future, ensure that our ammunition everything's refilled, and not just refilled, but above and beyond. I mean, President Trump, as he said, rebuilt the military in his first term, didn't think he'd use it as dynamically in his second, but he had. So thank goodness he did that.
And now if you're like, wait a minute.
Thanks goodness. You see how casually these people talk about doing unaliving folks and whatnot? And, as though they ain't wrong, man. Just how careless they are when they know that they're in the wrong. That is mind blowing. And if that doesn't cross your mind to even think, now these folks know they're wrong. You know what I'm talking about? But I would openly just say, Lord, ain't dealing with you. How can everybody be against what the Babylonians are doing, these Westerners are doing, and you still reserving hope?
And they're removing sanctions from Iran? Aren't they attacking? How is that possible? I will show you Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, where he announces, after removing oil sanctions from Russia and allowing Russia to sell its oil.
See, this shit hurting America, man. That's why the Mother Nation don't want no parts of this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Iran said, listen, man, anybody that's inadvertently helping America, man, is against Iran. You know what I'm talking about? And a lot of them folks, they get their stuff through that, a lot of the, comes through that strait of Hormuz. And righteously so, they were attacked, you know what I'm saying? Which that's in the prophecy, bringing out that prophecy in Ezekiel 38th chapter, man. This is far from being over, man. Well, I don't know how far it's, Lord going to end it. That's all I'm saying. They're not going to end it. The Lord is going to end this. So, that now the United States is still playing like the big boy on the block, talking about removing sanctions from Russia. And Russia them ain't really worried about no damn sanctions. They're part of the BRICS nation. Matter of fact, they one of the top dogs in that new currency, new way of doing commerce and whatnot. So it's just the United States still, pretending to be the chief of police when his ass been demoted to a desk sergeant or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now we're going to do that to Iran. And wait a minute, though. Doesn't seem like the oil prices are going down. Doesn't seem like this is working. It seems that what you're showing the market is that you are all panicking right now. And as a result, the price of oil is going up, 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 up. Here, play this clip of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying, after unsanctioning Russian oil, we're now unsanctioning Iranian oil? Are you kidding me? Play this clip.
Effort. We had a break the glass plan across the administration and at Treasury. We unsanctioned Russian oil. We knew that there were about 130 million barrels on the water, and we created supply that is beyond the Straits of Hormuz. So we anticipated this. We knew that there could be a temporary, and I want to emphasize temporary.
What they doing is if they buying Russian oil, they buying it, marked up. They have to because the United States and Russia ain't got no good relationship. Why ain't the price of oil going down? They said that they free. We got another line of what's your name, but then the damn pump. I went to the pump today, 92 octane at Pilot. I go to that Pilot, where them truckers come in at and whatnot. It's a truck stop. 92 octane was $4.57. 87 octane was $3.57. The 92 octane used to be $3.20 something. The 87, the cheapest you can buy, is 30 cents higher than what the 92 was. And the 92 octane was done at $5, man. So why ain't the prices going down? Because they ain't got no good relationship with nobody. Remember we read Isaiah 33? Whoa, when you want them to not fuck over you, nah, you got to remember the time when you fucked over them, man. Now folks are being treacherous with you. You follow what I'm saying? So they lying. They still here playing like they still running shit. They still, got things under control. Shit is out of hand, man. You got Pete Hegseth talking about, scripting the rest of Medicaid or whatever, healthcare to fund this war machine. You know what I'm saying about? Ain't shit going right for this man. And it ain't.
We unsanctioned Russian oil. We knew that there were about 130 million barrels on the water, and we created supply that is beyond the Straits of Hormuz. So we anticipated this.
Okay, so you created supply beyond the Straits of Hormuz. Then why is the oil still going up? Why is the price of gas still going up? It wasn't no $4 and something once this war started. It was like almost $4 when this war started. Now this shit is almost $5. But you done freed up 100 some million gallons. Man, these folks playing with they playing with you. Gotta be able to see through that deception, them lies, man. They playing with you.
Knew that there could be a temporary, and I want to emphasize temporary choke point there, and there was 130 million barrels of floating storage. In the coming days, we may unsanction the Iranian oil that's on the water. It's about 140 million barrels. So depending on how you count it, that's 10 days to 2.
Yeah, because the damn... now they talking about unsanctioning Iran, You over there killing them folks, man. This shit funny. This is funny, man. I mean, you can't make this shit up. These white folks talking out both sides of their ass at this point. Again, an elephant done stepped in an ant bed and they eating his ass up. Because these people back here at the homeland, America, they feeling it, man. And you just beginning to feel it now. Everything is finna go exponentially. Watching the weeks and months to come, everything is going to go up exponentially.
Weeks of supply that the Iranians had been pushing out, that would have all gone to China. In essence, we will be using the Iranian barrels against the Iranians to keep the price down for the next 10 or 14 days as we continue this campaign.
Folks, as Donald Trump is panicking, Iran is like just giving the middle finger and showing you don't phase us. I mean, look what just happened. Iran has just set up what it's calling an approved shipping corner or corridor through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is now allowing select vessels to pass through the Strait of Hormuz along routes inside its territorial waters after prior approval, with at least one tanker reportedly paying around $2 million for transit, according to Lloyd's List. So what they're doing now is they've basically offered select countries to have their ships pass through the Strait of Hormuz, and they're collecting it at like a toll. They're now making money from this war and further entrenching their control over the Strait of Hormuz. Now, you would think that the commander-in-chief of the United States should be someone very focused right now, very focused, sharp, strong. No, here's what Donald Trump's posting this morning. Rare Trump sneakers listed for $180,000 at SneakerCon in Riyadh. I don't think they're doing SneakerCon in Riyadh anytime soon or anytime in the future, Donald. I mean, just want you to think about how deranged this post is. Imagine you're in Riyadh, you've engaged in all these pay-for-play schemes with Donald Trump, you've enriched his family, you do the buildings for him, you help his sons, you just give them all of this money because you believe you're paying for the play of protection. And then during the war, where, by the way, Iran struck energy facilities in Riyadh, right? I mean, who the hell is going to go to Riyadh? Who's going to Doha, Qatar anymore? Who's going to Abu Dhabi or Dubai? These countries are destroyed long term. By the way, you want to take a look at a long-term forecast? You think these countries are going to invest in the future in private equity companies?
Now, what he's saying is, goddamn, they invested in Trump. You know what I'm about? You know, holding conferences and things where he can make money, you know, saying, via the contracts that he had with these other nations and whatnot. And they're doing that on the opposites, on the prefaces that if anything happened to us, y'all can come over here and bag us up. Y'all gonna police some shit. But no, that ain't happening. Matter of fact, Lindsey Graham went on a campaign saying that the Middle East nations, they need to step it up. He got ahead of it. Lindsey Graham, the United States, had got ahead of this weird relationship that they have with the Middle East, man. They're not coming to the rescue of none of these folks, man. Why? Because it ain't going like they say it's going, man. Iran them kicking their ass. It ain't, you know, to my, and then when it get real serious, you know, to my United States really just lay down the gauntlet. That's when Russia and China gonna kick in. So, you know, this shit funny, man.
Companies in the United States, or do you think they're likely going to invoke force majeure clauses and they're not going to, you know, the startups in the United States that would get this Middle East money, they ain't getting that money anymore. Let me be very clear what's about to happen. You're about to see a lot of more force majeure clauses invoked. But now, during the war, when you're like, hey, Donald, we paid you all this money personally, you and your family, you going to play? You going to help us right now? Well, remember the SneakerCon in Riyadh where we sold those Trump shoes for $180,000? Yeah, Donald, I think some of those buyers were hoping to get some influence, and now, yeah, boom, you destroyed the entire Middle East. What else is Donald Trump posting this morning? He's posting about windmills. He goes, from Douglas McKinnon. This is a photo yesterday.
I mean, that's about the sum of it. I mean, I don't want to go on too long. If you want to check this out, let's see. You can see right there, it says Trump cracks in White House and loses control of a war, because it was never in his control, man. It was never in his control. I'm going to grab that real quick in Popper's, and I'm going to close it out with that, because this is the Lord's ordeal, man. Let me see if I can get it in. I'm going to get it in another Bible study too. And my phone when it was dead. I'm sitting up here and ain't paid it no attention. Salakia. Let me wrap this up because my phone about to go dead. Salakia for the abrupt ending. But if you want to look at this particular video, you see it there. Let me go back. Description. Media's touch. You see it there. channels to all who please him. That ain't the one I want. Let's see. This is Proverbs 21 in the NLT, and it reads, "The king's heart, which we know is his mind, is like a stream of water directed by the Lord Yahweh. He guides it wherever he pleases." So, it is what it is, man. The Lord is making mockery of these world leaders. And it's a beautiful thing to see, too. Anyway, I got to close this out, man. Slakia. I'm about to die, so, well, my phone's about to die. Lord willing, if you want to go look at this video in its entirety, there it is right there. You have the info right there. Anyway, I'm going to close out by giving infinite honor, praise, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Double honor is given up to the elder apostles, elder bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Not Adawan, but Abba Ratazah, Lord's will, it was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.